Young guns in the house.
Growing up on the water with fishing in their blood, Arey and Bryan Thrift have spent the last 10 years competing against the biggest names in professional bass fishing. Their success has landed them ranked among the top anglers in the world. If you're looking to become a better angler, then this show has all the answers. Join us and follow along to get actionable tips, tactics, and tried and true techniques directly from the pros. Welcome to Let's Talk Fish.
All right, guys, we're back, and thanks for joining. We got 130-something viewers already tonight, and we have a couple of very special guests. We have 2018 Rookie of the Year, BASS Rookie of the Year, Jake Whitaker in the house. Jake, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We got Shane Lehew, a.k.a. Elite Series Rookie, that I just found out because I didn't know the actual rules until Jake clarified those for me.
I think so.
So we think Shane's an actual rookie. Anybody that thinks Shane shouldn't be a rookie, let us know. Maybe we can get that changed because I don't think he qualifies to be a rookie. So apparently it's based on earnings, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so it's based on like cumulative earnings, and if you surpass a certain point, then you don't qualify as a rookie. So if I get to pick to win Rookie of the Year this year, since I can't pick Jake because he won it last year and he's no longer a rookie, I'm gonna put my money on Lehew.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put my money on Lehew. You all right?
Because he doubles as a PBA Pro Bowler.
And a rodeo clown.
And a rodeo clown.
Jack of all trades.
All right. So real quick, we have to give a shout out to Smoke. He's still driving, I think. He better still be driving. If not, he was lying.
He actually was trying to make it back, which is insane.
Not for the show.
He thought about it.
Yeah. Well, I talked to him this morning. It was like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. He was in Mississippi, so I knew that was a no-go for the show tonight. We wanted to give a shout-out to Thrift on his third-place finish at Sam Rayburn and to Terry Bolton on the win because Terry, and Shane knows him. Do you know Terry, Jake?
Just being around,
a little bit. And Terry has been at this game for about 25 years. He started fishing FLW since its inception, I believe, in 1996. And he's one of the good guys, man. Terry's just as nice a guy as you've ever met in your life. And I told Brian, I said, I wasn't pulling against you. I'm always pulling for my buddies. I said, but to see Terry win, I don't get emotional very often watching somebody else win. I got emotional when I won, but watching somebody else win. But I got kind of emotional when I saw Terry get the trophy on stage because I knew how long he'd been at it, and he actually considered retiring this year, and then he came back, not out of retirement, but he decided to come back with some influence from his wife, and pretty good decision.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
pretty good decision to take home.
That's usually when it happens.
Something like that. The truth. Yeah. Or you have a baby or something like that.
Something like that. Something major.
Guys that have babies on tour, man, they're destined to win. I'm telling you, they're going to be dangerous. But all right, so a little housekeeping real quick. Got to announce a new partnership that we're very excited about with Let's Talk Fish. We've got a partnership for 2019 with Angler's Choice Marine, which is where I get my boats through. Thrift gets his boats through. Jake also gets his boats through.
Just this year.
And so if you see some signage in the background, we got a hoodie hanging up. We got a special giveaway at the end of the show tonight. We're going to give away one of Angler's Choice high-performance hoodies, one of their nice fitted 25th anniversary hats. I didn't mention that. It's their 25th anniversary, so they've been in business for 25 years, so congrats to Angler's Choice. And they got open houses coming up. Jeff's going to pop it up on the screen when I talk about it here. Yeah, it worked. Attaboy. Jeff is the man. If y'all didn't already know, Jeff's the man. So the open houses. Jeff, you want to go over the date since I can't see the picture?
January 25th, 26th in Martinsville.
Martinsville. Okay, so I'm going to stop you there real quick because that is one that Jake and I will both be present at. I'm assuming we'll both be doing seminars there, and we hope to see everybody at that one. Hank Parker, Denny Brower's on the list. Keith Combs is on the list, I believe.
Dudley Pearson. Yep.
Okay, so there's a lot of big names that are going to be at that open house. All right, okay, I got it now. So February 1st and 2nd is at the Spindale location, and February 9th is at the Lexington, North Carolina location. So they have 3 locations: Martinsville, Virginia, Spindale, North Carolina, and Lexington, North Carolina. Awesome people, awesome products, and if you need a boat, have you been in the facility in Martinsville?
A long time ago.
Okay, so if it's been a long time ago,
so I haven't.
Wait till you see it at the open house. It is unbelievable. It's They have all their boats inside.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a Bass Pro Shops in the back, but it's nothing but Ranger boats and Triton boats and everything all the way down both sides. It's pretty unbelievable. So anyway, yeah, Matt Hicks said, go Anglers. They are great people. They are, and they'll get you hooked up. Justin Jones, that's right. Terry Bolton did truly deserve it. he said he got emotional when he won too. So I'm not the only one that might have shed a little tear while watching the weigh-in. All right, so Jake, congrats, man! Rookie of the Year, 2018, first year on tour. How was it? I mean, I know your goals. Okay, so what were your goals going into 2018? Was it to win Rookie of the Year?
Definitely was. One of my goals was to win Rookie of the Year, but being realistic, I'm a pretty realistic person. You're going to have struggles first year, and you're going to have highs, and you're going to have lows. So my goal was to, kind of mitigate the lows and, make sure my highs were, could shine.
Right,
so,
right.
But yeah, definitely one of my goals was definitely to win Rookie of the Year, cash some checks, and just kind of, set myself up for the future.
Right. Well, I'd say
you
did that pretty darn well. Rookie of the Year title, qualified for the Classic,
yes,
correct?
Yeah.
Which is coming up pretty soon in March, which we'll have a booth at, by the way. That has been solidified. I didn't even tell Jeff, but Let's Talk Fish will officially have a booth at the Bassmaster Classic 2019. Cool. Hopefully you're fishing the last day, but if not,
hopefully.
we'll have you drop in. Shane, you'll be there working, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I will.
Classic.
Yep, I'll be there.
Are you not gonna be like Thrift? Like when I ask you a question, be like, "What? I wasn't listening to you." He never pays attention to me when I'm talking.
Somebody called me. I was trying to get this thing back
I
up.
got you. All right, we'll use that as an excuse. Guys, if you got any questions for Jake or Shane, we got Shane Lehew in the house. I didn't even. I'm talking about Jake. Sorry, Shane.
That's okay.
I didn't
I'll sit over here in the corner by myself.
But I'm gonna give Shane the mic just for a second because Shane's got something pretty cool that him and his family have started up there. It's a new tackle store at Lake Norman. I'm sure a lot of you local viewers have already been in, but I dropped in for the first time the other day. I was up at Norman kind of messing around with a buddy of mine and got some good stuff, man. But tell us about the new store and where it is, how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, so it's on 7938 Unity Church Road, and it's actually, if you guys are going towards Beatty's Ford Landing, a lot of guys from the Lake Norman area know where that is. We took it over from, it used to be Dry Pond Tackle. Dustin kind of just decided to let it go, and we were fortunate enough to get it. So Dustin's a good friend of ours, and we appreciate him helping us out on everything. But we've taken it over, and we've got a ton of new products in, constantly getting new stuff.
Y'all got some good stuff and some hard-to-find stuff, too.
Yeah, we've got some off-the-wall stuff, some custom crankbait, stuff like that. We're trying to get some tater hog baits, but, that guy never works.
Yeah, you got to watch him.
Yeah, what does he do? Does he just fish every day? Matter of fact, he left his hat here. He might
Yeah.
put that on. He did. He actually left his hat here. So
Yeah,
Jake,
he
you
left his
wanna-
sweatshirt in my
So
truck.
somebody said a minute ago, said Whitaker needs to wear a flat bill if he's going to sit in Thrift's chair. Thrift actually had a flat. I don't know if you saw the
I
show.
saw that.
last
I did.
year.
I watched
He had
that.
a flat
I
bill
did.
on.
I did.
I mean, Thrift and a flat bill. That was enough for me.
I will not be wearing a flat bill.
I'd rather have a tater hog back wearing that.
Yeah.
That
Thrift needs to
wig.
wear-
But
he needs to wear a flat bill.
who?
Thrift on tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thrift. I agree. I mean, look what he did. He
Yeah.
worked on the show, then he went and placed third. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, of course, third. I mean, third's okay, but for Thrift,
If he was wearing a flat bill,
it's about average.
probably first.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
Block out all the haters.
Kyle Hill had a question. So he said, "Do y'all ship? Can they
yeah,
order anything online from your tackle store or anything like that?"
Currently, we don't have an online store right now.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Okay.
Obviously,
All
taking over stores, it takes a while to get it going, get everything right.
A bunch of people are already asking, "Do you have a website?" Sounds to me like you better get you a website.
We're working on that. But if you guys do call in, we're nice enough. We'll ship you some stuff.
Y'all had some
obviously.
pretty looking swim baits in that's some tater hog stuff in there, wasn't there?
No, we don't have any.
You
Nope.
can't get him to make any.
We don't have any hog swag yet, as he would like to say.
Get him to make any. I asked him how long it take him to make me the smaller, not the Uncle Johnny, Uncle Ronnie.
He'll tell you a couple months, but
Yeah, he was like, a couple
realistically,
months,
half
That's
a
right.
year.
If you fish 7 days a week, it's hard to make a swim bait, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so we're at 226 viewers. Y'all, we got some young guns in the house. We got Jake Whitaker and Shane Lehew tonight. So be sure to share the show. I hadn't said that in a while. Brian gets somebody got mad at me one time for telling everybody to share the show. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, well, share the show. So I don't know who that was, but I'm going to tell him like 10 times a night. Kevin Franklin said Jake Whitaker owes me a fishing trip.
I probably owe a lot of people fishing trips. So
Well, why you're in the mix, I think you owe me one too. So, all right. Anthony Randall said, "Can I get a chance to win Hog's hat?" They want to win that dog. That
You
Don
might as well
King.
raffle it off.
We can't give that away, man.
Is it replaceable?
Well, I don't know. I mean, without
he
his
can
permission,
find
we
out.
can't give it away.
I would anyway.
Silent auction.
All right, Shane Lehew can give it away. We can't, Jeff.
Yeah,
But
give
Shane
it
Lehew
here.
can
Yeah, give it to me. We'll give it away.
We can do a giveaway tonight. So we're gonna have 2 giveaways at the end of the show. We've got the Angler's Choice High Performance hoodie with the Angler's Choice hat, and we've got our regular membership giveaway. So we're gonna do. I didn't know this, but do I need 2 trivia questions? Are we gonna do 2 separate giveaways, or are we gonna just combine it all into one? What do you think? What do y'all think? Give them 2 opportunities, 2 winners, or 1 winner?
2 sounds better. I mean, but
Okay.
2 winners. Yeah.
Great. Now I got to
Good.
come up with another trivia question. I had one all set up and all ready, and I was all excited about it. I got another one right here, I think, somewhere. I'll just scrabble. All right. So we will get. Somebody asked earlier what day I'll be at the Martinsville Angler's Choice Open House. I'll be there both days, Friday and Saturday. You be there
Same.
both days?
Friday
Okay.
and Saturday.
All right. Cool.
I got the question.
What?
I'll handle the second question.
You'll handle the second trivia question?
I got it.
Okay. I'm going to do the one that I've already got. I'll do the Angler's Choice giveaway, and then the second will be for the.
I got the English Shorts giveaway. You have the trivia.
But really, you're going to argue about that? You're going to fight me over that?
Just trust me.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll trust you. First time for everything. Lucky Hat, Jimmy Barnes, you will probably never see me in a flat bill. I can about guarantee that. So, the Hank's win at Norman. Well, I hate to mention Hank Cherry's win at Norman. Hank's not here, but we can talk about Hank when he's not here. But he cracked almost 19 pounds in the tournament. What tournament? Was that the Winter Trail tournament?
yeah, I think that was Sunday.
Yep. And second place was like 18, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't far off.
So they crushed them. I mean,
I think Craig Chambers finished second.
I bet that was bittersweet because him and Hank used to fish together.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna jump into. So we got Guy Aker watching. We have a legend watching. Y'all don't get nervous or anything, Guy.
Yeah,
He's watching.
he just
y'all right
popped
now.
on.
Yeah, I saw that. What's up, Guy? All right, we're gonna start taking some questions.
Trey Dotson's already answering the trivia question. Hank Carter, 1996.
I like that, Trey. Oh, you know what? Trey actually sent me a message the other day. He didn't know about the free decal deal, and
I got you.
yeah, Trey, send us a message with your address and all. Now, this doesn't apply to everybody. Let me tell you why it only applies to Trey. Trey, go ahead, Jeff.
So Trey, let me put Jake back up here. So if you look over Jake's head there in the vintage Pennzoil uniform that Matt has yet to wear.
I will wear that on the
promise.
show one night, I promise, Trey.
His shirt and pants. That came from Trey. And our basket of Christmas nuts
I'm glad you said Christmas nuts.
also came from Trey. And we didn't know it at the time. And we did the whole sticker giveaway as
That's
a
right.
thank you. We didn't know it at the time.
Trey,
And of all people that need a decal,
yep.
it needs to be Trey.
And in Trey's defense, he didn't know where the link was in the closed group, so
absolutely send us your address, and we'll get you something that's going to be more than a decal. How about that?
there you go. There you go. All right, so they asked where the mouse was to feed Mr. Wilson.
I couldn't fit it past the 64 fish.
He ate 60-something goldfish earlier today.
64.
Or feeder fish. Sorry, goldfish might not be politically correct. I don't know if I'm supposed to call them goldfish or not. Anyway, so next week, can we do some mice next week? Thrift's going to be back on the show.
You're serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. Why would I not? Why? That's not a joking matter. All right, next week, even if I have to get them. Now, they do have those in stock, right? Fins and critters?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. How many you think you can eat?
All of them.
All right, next week, and I'm going to guarantee this, only if we get to 300 viewers today. We're at 245.
So
We get to
let me.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff.
Let me update the decals. Jeremy asked where's the decals. Been looking for. Everybody's getting their decals with holidays, Matt's schedule, Thrift schedule. It was a little tough because it's not only a decal coming. We got a little special gift in there for everybody. That is pretty cool. So we had to align everyone's schedule.
Yeah.
But literally, Thrift will be back tomorrow to finish his part, and the envelope's already addressed.
That's right.
stamped, ready to roll.
All the envelopes are addressed and stamped, guys.
So
Give us some
it'll
time.
be worth it.
Because it's not just a decal coming your way. We added a little special gift in that envelope, and we just have to wait for Thrift to get back to finish putting his
Somebody
John
had to
Hancock
finish
on
third, so it took him a little while to get back. So we
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's right. And then they delayed it an extra day. So, all right, let's see. I saw some questions on here earlier, but I'll wait a little bit. What I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about before you?
Mice.
Mice. That's right. If y'all share the show tonight and get us to 300 viewers, I guarantee there'll be mice next week for Mr. Wilson for your viewing pleasure. And if that's not an awesome guarantee, I don't know what is. I mean, come on, dude. Who doesn't want to watch a bass eat live mice?
Well, he'll eat it.
Have we ever done
It's going to be
frogs
crazy.
or anything like that?
Hadn't done frogs. I mean, the problem is like the frogs that you buy at the pet store, like designer frogs.
It's $40.
Yeah, like the little Pac-Man frogs,
Yeah.
you know, the real fat ones, and all you see
Yeah.
is their eyeballs are like
Yeah.
$25 and stuff.
$8 every
Pretty
2
sure you
days.
can get a feeder
That's
mouse
enough.
for like
Yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
So feeder mice coming up. I already see us jumping up to almost 260 just like that. So share the show. You're going to get feeder mice from Mr. Wilson next week. All right. I saw a question here earlier. A lot of guys said they saw you at the Raleigh show this weekend.
Yes,
by the
yes,
way.
had an awesome time there.
Up
Yep.
there working for ALX
Yep.
rods,
Yep.
right? Okay.
And True South Custom
And True
Works.
South. Yeah, True South makes some good stuff.
Yeah.
They got some pretty slick stuff too. Let's see. Justin Jones was asking about the Alabama rig, Shane. Now, Shane's Baits has a website. They can order the Alabama rigs.
Yeah, we do.
And is that shanesbaits.com?
It is.
Shanesbaits.com is where you can get the custom best Alabama rig on the market, which they've been biting that pretty much all over the place lately.
We're having trouble keeping them in stock right now.
There you go. Well,
They must be biting them about everywhere.
I know what Shane will be doing when he leaves here. He'll be going home to make more Alabama rigs. So, Anthony, if you heard that, we will have mice. If we get to 300 viewers, we'll have mice next week for Mr. Wilson. All right, let's get I'm going to catch up to everybody. See, that's awesome. Bryant Clary said y'all are the best. We appreciate that. What day can I come meet Shane Lehew to show him some tricks? Brandon Childers asked that. Is that one of your buddies? Or
Yeah, that is.
Okay. All right.
He needs to be shown some tricks, so that's for sure.
All right, here we go. First question is coming from Shane Rott. If the water is under 60 degrees, do you Carolina rig off the ledges or in the hollows of the creeks? Now, the hollows, I'm assuming he's talking about the ditches and things like that. So under 60 degrees, honestly, I mean, I don't throw a Carolina rig enough to really even answer that question. I'm not even qualified to answer that question. What about y'all? Carolina rigging. Come on, y'all Carolina riggers. You're from the Carolinas.
Yeah, points are big. Hartwell's big place where I fish. They, before they move up to spawn, they can move up shallow on the points. So
Right.
it doesn't have to necessarily be out on the ledges or even in the ditches or whatever. But
That's what I don't like a lot of vertical. Like if I am
Yeah.
throwing a Carolina rig, I don't like it to be real vertical.
Yeah.
I don't like bluff ends and things like that. I'd rather have a gradual slope than anything that drops off super, super fast. If it drops off really fast, I'm usually going to something like a shaky head or a jig
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. Are you on?
I'm
good
on
with
the
that,
same
Shane?
page, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right,
I don't
let's see,
Carolina rig a whole lot, so.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and I watch those guys at Rayburn and FLW, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
all of them were throwing a rig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm jealous of
They were
being there
throwing
or
in the
not.
short grass, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Little hard spots in the grass
Yeah.
and things like that. So, let's see. Congrats, Regina. She said she caught her first bass on Lake Lanier today. Jack Howell said Shane's A-rigs are the best. I have to agree. Let's see. Smoke was throwing a Carolina rig this
He
week.
was.
Y'all better write that down because it's rare that he slows down. And all this stuff about him, I can talk about him all we want because he ain't here. But all this stuff about him jumping around and running and gunning and things like that, that son of a gun sat on the same spot for 4 days. So, I mean, he spent, what's 8 times 4, Jeff?
32.
19.
He spent he spent 32 hours basically on the same spot the entire tournament. But Brian's good enough to where when he knows he has to slow down, he slows down.
He's done it before.
Oh, yeah.
Not
No,
a lot,
absolutely.
but
Absolutely.
he's done it before.
Yeah.
He done it at Kentucky Lake, some of the ledge tournaments and things like that. And grass lakes are big. They said when they found them at Rayburn, and I talked to him this morning on the phone while he was driving, he said, dude, when you found them, like it wasn't easy to find them, but when you found them, it was like every
Yeah.
cast,
Yeah.
And I watched Bolton on live on Monday. Yesterday morning, dude. First spot he pulls up to, he might not have caught one every cast, but he had a bite
Yes.
every cast for like 40 casts. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch. So, let's see. Jeff Davis said he was there and he pounded them. One of y'all text Hog and see if y'all can give his hat away. Man, they want
That would
that
be
hat.
epic. That would be
they
awesome.
want that hat.
That would be awesome.
Hey Shane, you want to shoot him a text and see if we can
I'll shoot him
see
a
if we can
text.
give his hat away.
Who wants Tater Hog's
He'll know what it is.
He needs to be watching.
autographed hair?
Autographed. He didn't sign it.
Y'all can all sign it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna sign a wig that was on Matt McBee's head.
Absolutely. Who wants that?
Ooh.
Give us a thumbs up in the feed if you want it.
Oh, J-Mac, that's an interesting question, and I'm not real sure. He said, give your perspective on the loons that poach Thrift's fish. Y'all know what he's talking about? I must admit, that might have been something on live or something.
Yeah, I saw some loons in the background, like a lot of guys
8 times
fishing.
32 equals third.
I like it. Hey, thank you, Mike
That is-
Harris. I hope Thrift's watching on his drive home. We might already be home, but Mike Harris said Thrift needed an Ultrex on Rayburn. Thrift and I argued he hates change, okay? But when you're sitting there on an offshore spot and you're making such a specific cast and he's having to run that trolling motor to get him back up. I mean, I know he's got GPS and he's got his line up and he's got his waypoints and all that stuff. That's great. But he's lying when he says Ultrex wouldn't have come in handy in a tournament like that. Like I said, he's not here, so I'm going to talk about him. I mean, he's coming home with like $40,000 in his pocket. I'm sure he's all right. He can take a little picking. All right, question for you, Jake. This comes from Jack Howell. He said, how do we catch a better fish on Hartwell right now? They've just been catching a lot of smaller spots. So what would be your key on catching a better fish, a better quality fish, above average fish on Lake Hartwell right now?
I would probably have to say, due to all the rain that we've been having, I would say that a lot of the creeks are stained.
I'm sure, yeah.
In the backs. And if it were me trying to catch a better fish, I would be square billing, spinner baiting, chatter baiting, something like that. Dirty water.
All right, so there you go. Yeah, and that's always a good way to catch kicker largemouth down there. All right, do split rings affect jerk baits? This one's from Jeff Fox. And crankbaits. I've heard some take them off and some tie directly to the eye of the bait. I've always kind of used split rings. I mean, for the most part, y'all use split rings. I've seen guys take them off and use snaps too. I've seen guys even tie a loop knot in some of them, but I don't like that because it grinds on the line when you're using light fluorocarbon and things like that. Are y'all split ring guys?
Yeah,
Split
definitely.
ring, yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so Jeff, that's pretty unanimous. We all use split rings on our jerk baits and crankbaits. Now, I keep an eye on those split rings, and if you, if they get a little bit out of shape or they get a little rusted or they get a rough spot in them, you don't want them to nick your line. And I got to wear I don't even know what they're called, but they're more of an oval than they are circular.
Yeah.
I like those a lot better. It seems to me that it stays a little bit truer. It still can swing, but I don't know. I guess personal preference, I guess, but I got to where I use those a lot more than the regular circular split rings. Perfect spinnerbait rod. Some people want one. Logan Taylor was asking with a little bit more backbone. I like a 7.2, 7.3. I don't like. I mean, Jake, you're a pretty big guy. I'm a pretty tall guy. Shane's a little shorter, but I mean, do you like a longer rod or a shorter rod? Because I know what Thrift would say if he was here.
7.3, medium heavy. Yeah.
So we're all kind of on the same page. 7.3 medium heavy to me is about an ideal action for a good spinnerbait rod. And that's the same rod I use for a chatterbait a lot too.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm in grass and things like that. If y'all see a question that I missed and y'all want to address it, y'all let me know. I ain't going for a mullet, Josh Calvin, but I mean I'm getting
You're
close.
getting close, yeah.
Maybe I'll just shave the front of my head.
Go Joe Dirt this year.
And go Joe Dirt on them this year. That's right. Oh, Trey Dotson said Thrift actually hooked a loon. Huh.
Oh Lord,
I didn't know that.
I did not see that.
That's interesting. I've never been good enough to fool one, but I guess Thrift is. So.
Not only
see.
catches bass.
I'm still having a problem, Jeff, with seeing a complete comment.
It's because you have an iPhone 2.
It's not an iPhone 2. It's a 6S.
That needs to be charged every
What's the
30
difference?
seconds.
Hey, we almost hit 300 viewers, by the way. I saw 297, so we're almost there. Chad E. Butler said we need to do a show on your favorite knot that you like to tie. So as far as knots, man, I'm a Palomar knot. Occasionally I'll use a loop knot. What did we decide the name of the knot was that we tie our braid to fluorocarbon? What do you use, Jake? Braid to fluoro.
Here lately I've been doing a double uni.
What about you, Shane?
FG.
Yeah, that one too.
Which one's the FG? Is that the one that we use? Is that the one that Brian and I use? We don't even know what it's called. We make a loop in the fluorocarbon, take the braid through it, and wrap it around the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's shaking his head, and you're shaking yes, and he's shaking.
No, that's not the FG.
Okay, that's not the FG. That's like a
that-
Unionite.
yes.
Okay. Yep. Got you. What's the FG? I've heard of it.
It's
but-
complicated. The
So
best,
why do you
It
tie
takes
it?
like 10 minutes.
no, I mean it does. Now it doesn't take me that long to tie it.
That's
but
good. That's 10 more minutes we have to fish while he's tying knots.
I've honestly, it's like because I broke the double unit, I
Yeah,
broke all
yeah,
of them. Like,
yeah.
But that one on
We
guide
just
trips
broke
and stuff.
300, by the way. So
We
you're
broke
going
300.
about
All
mice.
right, guaranteed mice for next Tuesday. Y'all got it. I promise. Unless for some reason Fins and Critters just run out of them,
No, you got to catch them.
then we'll
You live
catch
on a
'em.
farm?
Catch them. The way when I catch them, you can't feed them to him because they dead.
Just shake
And
it.
he likes stuff that's moving.
Just shake it.
Just shake
He'll
it.
eat it.
You're right. Actually, you're right. If he'll attach a 16-inch swim bait that Tater Hall made, floating on top of the water in the aquarium, he probably would eat a dead rat or mouse or whatever it is. So, Dustin Mullins, we are not coming to Lake Conroe with MLF. We're all fishing the Bassmaster Elite Series, so we will not be present. But we will be, in my opinion, at the best lake in Texas the first week of May for the TTBC at Lake Fork. If you want to see some biggins, whether one of us catches them or not, I guarantee you'll see some giants at Lake Fork in May. That's a guarantee. And Keith Combs will be fishing that tournament. He'll probably be the one to be,
Yes.
as usual. But we're going to do our best to knock him off his throne down there. I think he won. I know the first TTBC I fished down there back when they let the FLW qualifiers fish it. He won that one by, I don't know, it was 3 days. He had like 110 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they were all offshore. We're there a little earlier, so it could make it interesting. I think there'll be a lot of different ways to catch them. But there'll be a 10-pounder caught in that one. It will take a double-digit fish to win that truck. So, all right. Brandon Childers said, how bad your grandpa beat you today? Did y'all go fishing?
I did, yeah.
I thought you had a tackle store you had to work at.
No, Dad was running the tackle.
Oh,
store
okay.
today.
So
Yeah.
you
I went fishing last night.
You and your
then
grandpa
I woke
had
up at 7, went fishing again this morning.
I saw your post.
Yeah, I only fished till like 9 last night.
But you caught him, though, didn't you?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, last
So-
night was fun. This morning was fun, and then about 9 o'clock, I should have went home.
So you and your grandpa fished head-to-head?
There's a little $5 Tuesday tournament.
$5 Tuesday tournament. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep, I jump in at about once every 2 months.
How many? So my grandfather used to play in a weekly golf tournament, and they would bet quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Sometimes they'll get like 30 boats, like on a Tuesday.
so there might be $150 to win. Did I do my math right?
Anytime
Is
you
that
can bet an area on
And
anything,
actually,
you
it's
do it.
$6 because it's $1 big fish.
right? I hear you, Jeff. It was how much?
$6.
So who won?
Grandpa.
Oh, okay. He took
Yeah.
all the money.
Yeah.
How many boats?
See what he did. What he always does. Wherever we fished this past weekend, that's what he's going to run on Tuesday. So, Grandpa, I hope you're watching. I know you ran my juice.
You ran Lehew's juice, beat him at his own game.
For
I
a
like
fact.
it. I like it. There's a question to you, Jake, from
Yep.
John Martin. Said, since Jake is their True South, we'll throw in a couple pulse blades and buzz baits for the giveaway. So is John the owner of True South?
John is.
Okay,
John
all right.
is.
So that's pretty awesome. Couple pulse blades and buzz baits for the giveaway. So we can either throw that in the English Choice giveaway. We'll throw it in the English Choice giveaway because we'll have to get their name and address anyway, and that's going to be drop ship from English Choice Direct, and he can drop ship that
Yep.
stuff from True South. So appreciate the
Yeah,
donation,
that's
John.
awesome. Appreciate it.
I'm glad I saw that, man. That's pretty cool. It was pretty cool. What's up, Tom? Tom, thanks for tuning in. Anthony Randall said the same thing when he was talking about split rings. He said oval split ring on crankbaits. Let's see. I don't get to see comments like that very often, so I'm just going to read it. Anthony Randall said Matt is 100% right on oval split rings. If Thrift was here, I
That
would
is
probably
rare.
I'd probably screenshot that and make him read it over and over and over again.
He would
All
probably
right.
disagree.
James Wiley, Jeff mentioned that earlier about the LTF decals. Yes, we've got all the decals, but we're adding something else in each and every one of you guys and gals that signed up for a free decal in the envelope. So we're giving you a special gift in there with it, and that will be on its way hopefully within the next week or so. We'll get those in the mail, but I promise they're coming. Just be patient with us. All right, Alan Coe, thanks, buddy. He said he's here so the party can start. Sorry he's late. Best Kitech rod. That's a good question. Paul Jackson asked the best rod for a Kitech. So Scott Martin, who I roomed with last year, has completely changed my outlook on the right Kitech rod. I'll let you guys tell what your favorite setup is for throwing a Kitech, the model, the length, the action. whatever brand rod you like to throw, you can mention. And
what size are we talking?
Well, Kitex, I'm assuming, Paul, you're talking, the 3/8, the not the big giant like 5/8, but the 3/3s, 3/8s, things like that. The most common size that we all throw, I'm sure, more than anything. Favorite Kitex rod, action, length, everything. Go ahead, Jake.
I'm going to give you two answers because this year I threw a Kitex a lot, and I threw it a lot on a spinning reel, 1/8 ounce head, 7-foot medium, the ALX ICOS series, the Shake 7 Shake 7 is what I threw it on this year. But if you're throwing it on a bait caster, 1/4 ounce weight, whatever weight you're throwing it on, probably the ALX Zolo Deputy. It's a 7-foot one. It's a medium heavy rod, but I think it leans more toward the medium aspect of that. So that's what I throw.
Okay, so yeah, and a lot of rods out there, but you're around a 7.71 for the most part. What about you, Shane?
Same way. I'm a 7-foot medium heavy Fantasista. It's got a little backbone, like if you get out on a long cast. Usually I throw it on a 3/16 or 1/4 ounce head, like Jake was talking. If I throw a 3/3 or 3/16 or a 3/8, but it's got a pretty soft tip. So,
all right, so y'all gonna laugh at me because I'm so and I used to use this pretty much the same rods that y'all just mentioned. I used to use a 7-foot medium. It was more like a medium heavy, but it was labeled a medium. It had a decent backbone, but a pretty soft tip. Yeah. And I always used around a 7-foot rod. And then Scott got me using a 7-11. Now y'all might laugh about that, but when I'm fishing now, unless I'm skipping docks, it's different. Now, not skipping docks with a swim bait. This is fishing open water, brush piles, things like that, shoals, offshore, and this 7-11, it's Luz has got a medium heavy cranking 7-11 stick, and I'll have to get you guys the model number. But that 7-11, what it did for me, and I'd use 8 or 10 pound line, and I'd use a 6.3-to-1 reel, and I could absolutely launch that thing. And it was a medium heavy crankbait rod, so it wasn't designed for like 10XDs and things like that. It's more like your 5XDs and your Series 6 and your 10 to 15 foot divers. And it's very similar because it's so long. The fish would just. They hook themselves. They load up on it. It's got plenty of backbone, and it's got the length of where you can absolutely just bomb that bait. And at first I was like y'all, I was like 7-11 for throwing a Kitex, and then when you do it, you're like, this is the deal. Why haven't I been doing it? This is the deal. And I'm telling you, you guys should try that. Try using a 7-11 when you're fishing a Kitex or a little paddle tail swim bait in open water. I was impressed. I mean, and I won't go back to anything else. Let's see. Anthony said Matt spend some money and get an iPad for the show. We got how many iPads? We got 1, 2, 3. We got all kinds of iPads. That's how y'all see us. We have iPads. iPhone 6s. Andy Markle gave me the little iPhone 6.
His phone is horrible.
Oh, so my 6 is better than Andy's. Do you like the FG knot? Well, I guess one of us at the table does. Shane uses the FG knot all the time.
It is weird to tie. Like.
Literally, how long does it take you to tie?
I mean, not that long now.
If you're just learning,
seconds.
Forever.
If you're just learning, it's a good 5-10 minutes.
It's weird though. Like you watch me tie. Like I put the braid in my mouth, hold the braid with my teeth, and then do the rest with.
I think that's the hardest part of tying is figuring out how to hold the line.
Yeah, figuring out how to hold it. To me, tying a line-to-line type knot, that's the hardest. That's the biggest challenge is figuring out how to hold everything.
Yeah.
Once you figure that, get a method going, and then it becomes a lot easier and more efficient.
There's an easier way. I think Marty Robinson, Brandon Cobb told me about it. Like, but he does some
That's
crazy.
Your problem right there.
Yeah, he does some crazy stuff with his hands, and I have no idea. So I just.
So he actually showed you, and you still didn't understand.
No, he didn't show me. He showed Cobb, and Cobb tried to figure it out, and he couldn't.
So. Oh, you're talking about Marty does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I found the knot online. I mean, literally, I was just going through saltwater knots. And I was like, you know what? I just played around with it. And it holds up really well.
Mark Mason said the Alberto knot. J-Max said, if you miss 2 strikes on a crankbait, do you change the hooks? What do y'all do? I mean, I usually just change colors before I start changing hooks, man, because I always have new hooks on my crankbaits. Yeah. But if you start missing fish on a crankbait, what do y'all do first?
I mean, color,
Yeah.
most of the time.
Change
Like if you're
colors.
not catching a bunch of fish, like obviously if you're catching like 20 fish on one bait and then you start losing them, then yeah, you probably won't out the hooks.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you wear out the hooks a lot depending on what you're cranking, rock, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, while we're at it, what hooks do y'all run on? Let's just talk about shallow running cranks, square bills, and things like that. Not necessarily sizes because it varies per bait.
Yeah.
But what are y'all's favorite hooks to run on a crankbait? Just in general.
Mine right now are the Berkeley Fusion. They're round bends.
Okay.
Yeah, those things are the sharpest hooks I've ever seen.
Little
And they're
needle points.
and they don't. I mean, I've had some hooks in the past, like even starting to straighten out a little bit or bend a little bit. They don't.
Yeah.
So
What about
I've
you?
got to agree.
You like that Berkeley Fusion?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And I'll tell you what.
I haven't used this hook. I'm gonna have to
Where
check
I
this hook
got
out.
turned on to it was on the second year I fished the Opens.
Okay.
Top water, smallmouth.
Yep.
They were eating it
They were
like crazy, but you would lose some of them. So,
Right.
and believe it or not, the tackle store had no other treble hooks
That's all
besides
they had.
those. Bought them, never lost a fish on
And
them.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like throwing a jerkbait up north a lot, and I've always used Gamakatsu round bends, the bronze hooks. And the downfall of that hook is, I mean, they'll stick you if you look at them wrong,
Yeah.
but they will bend on you. You know, and throwing a jerkbait up north and catching them smallmouth and 3 and 4 pound smallmouth jumping 5 feet out of the water stuff. About every fish or every other fish, you're gonna either have to change a hook or you have to straighten one back out.
Yeah.
So that's the only downfall. Are they great hooks? Absolutely, they're killer hooks. All right, I'm seeing everybody's comments that we hit over 300 viewers. We absolutely did. So we will have some mice to feed Mr. Wilson next week. I hope Pete is watching. They'll get a kick out of that. 321. We actually hit. Oh, we're at 325. This is pretty awesome. Blake Parrish said, "Thrift and I are tying the Alberto knot." I always thought it was the uni knot. I don't know.
I think that's what you were talking about.
I don't know what we're tying.
That's what I used to tie.
I still don't know what we're tying. We've talked about that before. All right, so any questions for Jake and Shane, be sure to shoot them over, guys. Joel Fry, thanks for tuning in. He's tuning in from California. See, what time is it in California? Jeff, help me out here. I can't do math, remember? 4 hours earlier, right?
I'm not listening to you. What did you say?
You're worse than you're just doing that because Thrift's not here, so you're gonna take his place and just pretend like you're not paying attention to you.
No, what'd you say, really? I had
Nothing.
my earphones on.
Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, Trey, that's interesting, Matt. Did we hit a new record for viewers tonight?
We were in the.
We've hit three.
like
We've been in
350.
300 several times, but
I think we hit 350 one time.
we had
'cause
350 one time.
I think one of the first white ninja crawfish was a 350.
oh yeah, was that a 350 one? Let's see. Tim Frederick headed your way this weekend. Oh, that's Lineberger telling Tim he's headed down there. I wonder what Lineberger's going down there for. Lineberger fishing the coaster or something?
Yes, he
Yeah, I
said
think
he
he
is.
Okay.
He's fishing the coast for the Open.
All right. I didn't see Tim was on. What's up, Tim? Thanks for tuning in. Florida Hammer there. And them boys will have fun down there. So they're headed to the Costa, and that's at Okeechobee.
Yes.
Oh, the water's really low there, so that should be an interesting tournament. Or it was really low. I don't know if it's still. What's so funny, Jeff? I missed it.
Anthony Renna said I'm acting like smoke. I guess not listening to you.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Randy McKitty said, looking for a dual bow mount for my electronics. What do you guys recommend? Ranger Boat. Randy, you need to call Van Foster at Bass Boat Technologies. Are y'all in agreement with that?
100%.
I know there's a couple different companies out there to make them, but I'll tell you, Van was the very first one in the industry, period, to make any kind of single or dual mount for bass boats. And I promise you won't be disappointed with Van's work. Look up Bass Boat Technologies and give Van a call, Randy, and you won't be disappointed. Let's see. Jake and Shane, this is from Vernon Kemp to both of you guys. Do you guys feel like a spinning rod is better than a casting rod for a hard jerk bait? Probably know what both y'all are going to say, but go ahead. Either one of you, who wants to answer first? Shane, go ahead.
I always throw mine on a bait caster. Not now. You said the Legends watching Guy Eaker. He throws his on a spinning rod. So
Guy throws a jerk bait on a spinning rod.
Yep, he
Interesting.
does.
I didn't know that.
and I think he throws braid a lot. Honestly,
Really?
Yeah.
With a fluoro leader or
I think just straight braid.
straight braid?
Yeah. See, I usually throw mine on a 610 medium,
Okay.
10-pound fluorocarbon most of the time.
Okay. Now, when you get to the bigger jerk baits, bigger, deeper diving, heavier jerk baits, you still on that 610 medium?
I'll go to a 7-foot medium most of the time. Yeah.
All right. What
Yeah,
about you,
pretty
Jake?
much the same way. ALX actually has a Kelly J jerkbait rod.
Okay.
So,
All right. How long is that rod?
It's 6'10", 7 foot.
Gotcha.
It's like, it's
Got you.
typical jerkbait rod. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm the same way. I got to where I don't know, man. I just got to where I like longer rods for about everything. I feel like I get a little bit more distance and leverage out of them. But I use 7-footers, and I'll use most of the time I'll use a medium action. If I go up to something super heavy, sometimes I'll go to like a 7.2 medium. Some 7.2 or 7.3 medium heavy. Some of the medium heavies are more like mediums, depends on the brand. But Luz has got a 7-foot medium that I love. I actually was throwing it Friday up at Norman, and it's funny. We started fishing. We went to Norman the other day Friday, and we caught a bunch of fish, but we never caught any big ones. But the first stretch I pulled into, and I guess it's because it was early, and I picked up a little jerk bait, and I caught 5 in like 6 casts. And then I never had I never had a bite on jerkbait the rest of the day.
They've been biting early. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the deal is.
I guess it was an early deal. There wasn't any wind either that day, so I think
your roommate just joined us.
My roommate is my wife. Oh, Canterbury. Is Canterbury on? My roommate on the road. I got you. Hammerberry's on, so that's cool. What's up, Scott? Buddy Black's watching. What's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Craig Chambers must have tuned in because Kyle Lee Wisnett mentioned that, and he said the real deal bridesmaid on Lake Norman.
That's tough.
The crap talking's already started. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, Craig finished second behind Hank Cherry and his tournament partner this past weekend. They both cracked a giant bag of fish. I mean, that's anytime you crack 16 pounds on Norman, that's good. But they both cracked over 18. Pretty awesome. How were the rest of the weights in the Winter Trail tournament?
I think Sunday they were really good.
Okay, isn't that funny?
I didn't fish this weekend, so I don't really know. But I know.
So Hank's lucky that you just decided to sit out.
No, I haven't caught 18.5 pounds, and I'm not
lucky.
sure. Yeah, last year.
Look, Shane took me to Norman one time, and we won a tournament. Thrift was fishing that tournament too. I just want to throw that in there.
We won by a couple pounds. On that one.
We won that one by a couple pounds. We had 18 something, and you know that joker ain't invited me back to fish a tournament with him since. You believe that, Jake?
I believe it.
You believe
I
it?
can believe that.
Grandpa won't let me fish with anybody anymore.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm fine with. I'm the net man now.
But he'll beat you on your own juice.
Yeah,
but
he will.
Okay, got you.
I just hold the dipper. That's it.
Kevin Clark said, have you guys ever experimented with the single hooks to replace treble hooks? Absolutely, 150% no. I don't say that being a smart, but I would, if I can throw 3 hooks, I'll never throw a single hook. You know, if I could put a treble hook on my jig, I'd probably do it, but keep it from getting hung up. It's not going to happen. What about y'all? I would imagine if there's any bait in your box that has treble hooks on it, you're not going to ever switch it out to a single hook.
It's going to keep trebles.
Yeah, it's going to keep trebles. Yeah, Michael Cates, that is a good rod. That 7-Eleven Lew's Mock Crush all-purpose 6.5 to 1, awesome for jerk baits. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Benjamin Ott's watching. Appreciate it, Benjamin. What reel and rod do you guys use for chatterbait setup? We're getting a lot of rod and reel setup questions tonight. I'm a 7.3 medium heavy, similar to what my spinnerbait setup was before. Now I do like, because it's so hard for me to slow down sometimes, and I get a lot more bites on a chatterbait when I tend to slow it down. But sometimes I have to go to a lower gear ratio reel, so I'll go to a 6.81 or 6.31. Yeah. And that's what I'll throw mine on, is a 7.3 medium heavy. What about y'all?
7.2 medium heavy.
7.2,
Yep.
so very similar.
Yeah, 7.3 medium heavy. Or if I'm fishing heavy grass, I'll go to a 7.6 medium heavy. Actually, a lot now.
Yeah, to pop it loose easier,
Yep.
where you don't have to work as hard.
Yep.
It makes sense. Let's see. Jeff Mackey said to tell you that to tell Grandpa that the secret bait smoked him on Mountain Island on Sunday. So it's out now. What's the secret bait?
I don't even know.
Oh my gosh!
Like, I have no
idea.
idea.
Believe this? You believe this?
I think he came in the tackle store when Grandpa was working. Grandpa just let it all out. Just told everybody.
Probably something y'all sell though, huh?
Yeah, it's something we got in the store.
Of course.
Just so everybody knows,
you sell it, but you won't tell us what it is.
I really don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Jeff bought.
I spent 2 years at UNC Charlotte with Shane, and nothing's changed.
He's not thrift status, but he's kind of like a hybrid. Like he's got a little thrift blood in him, a little tight lip. And Cobb's like
fine.
Cobb's always, he's just been straight up forward and honest. And then
that's why we work. That's why we work well together.
Because he gives you everything and you give him nothing. That's a pretty good relationship.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
you, because he still catches them and then you catch them.
Yeah.
So
he figures them out in practice, because I never do.
Yeah, if it ain't broke,
Same.
don't try to fix it, right? What kind of braid do y'all use? Brian, I use the P-Line TCB braid. I'll I use the 8 carrier for my spinning rods. I usually use 15 pound. And one thing I do on braid with spinning rods is I'm always using something that's a high vis color, whether it's a chartreuse or white or whatever it is. What I use is a high vis yellow. It's kind of like a chartreuse color. And that's because whether I'm wacky worming or even drop shotting, it doesn't even matter. I just always like to know exactly where my leader starts and know exactly where I can see my line, and fishing a shaky head when there's a little bow in it, I can just pick up on it a lot easier. Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm older than y'all too. I don't know. My eyesight's getting bad. But what about y'all?
I like the high vis, but I'm also P-line. Just joined P-line.
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard, Jake. And we know you're a Berkeley guy, but what size? Is that what he asked? Oh, he just want to know what kind of braid. So you're using.
There's new braid coming out.
Okay.
I honestly used to be P-line or Power Pro guy for braid.
Yep. And Power Pro's a good braid too.
Yep. And they've come out with a new braid that's very similar to those, so I feel real comfortable with it. One's a slicker braid like you talked about. It's called the X9, and then there's a more coarse braid, kind of like Power Pro.
Yep.
Has always been, and that's what I tend to lean towards just for comfort. Is that X5?
So do you like but you like the slicker stuff on your spinning reels and things like that?
Nope.
Really?
X5. Yep.
You like the stiffer stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Now why is that? I got to know.
I don't know. Just always been comfortable
Personal
with
preference.
it.
Okay.
Yep.
And I usually throw 10 most of the time.
Yeah, I'll throw 10 a lot.
So I don't lose casting that much.
The only reason I throw 15 is because a lot of times I'm using an 8-pound leader and sometimes I'm using a 10-pound leader. I hate using a 6-pound leader. I know guys on the West Coast are big with lighter leaders, but I always like my diameter of my lines to match up. The better they match up, I always feel like the better that knot cinches down. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you got a 6-pound fluoro and a 65-pound braid and you try to tie that knot, I just don't trust it. So the closer you can get in diameters of line when you're tying a line to line knot, I always think that's better for longevity and strength, both. Let's see. I saw a question about am I going to be down at fishing the Bass Open? Oh, from Steve Smith said, are you going to be fishing the Bass Open on the Harris Chain next week? I'm not fishing any of the Opens this year, just the Elites. Jake, you're not fishing the Opens, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
No.
And I know you're not fishing the Opens, correct? Are y'all doing any coastals or anything other than the Elite Series?
No.
Okay. All right. Favorite search bait? That's a good question from Casey Grimm. What's y'all's favorite search bait? Just when you go out looking for a bite, trying to find a group of fish, favorite search bait. I mean, there's a lot of them out there, but if you could pick one, Shane.
Mine would be some type of crankbait or topwater, just depending on time of year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same.
This time of year, jerkbait for me.
Jerkbait
for me.
Yeah, jerkbait's always a good way just to get a bite, whether it's from a runt or a giant. You know, so and you can cover a lot of water with it. It'll work you a little harder than a crankbait sometimes, but I'm with Shane. I love throwing if certain times of year I like throwing a buzz bait or a plopper or something like that I can cover a lot of water with fast. Or sometimes a little old Bandit 200 or something, just something that will get a bite that you can cover a lot of water with very quickly. Let's see, Logan Taylor. I have not thrown the Fritz Lew's cranking stick yet, but I've got several of the Ledge series rods that just came in from Lew's. Some of the Mark Rose signature stuff. I haven't got a chance to throw them yet, but I'll be using them here soon. They feel good, and I just got my reels on them, got them lined up, so I'm excited to get out and test them. Super cold water. Ryan Montgomery said, this is a good question for you, Shane. Super cold water. Let's just say it's clear for argument's sake. Best retrieve for an Alabama rig, blades or no blades?
I usually always go blades.
You always go blades, no matter how clear the water is.
Most of the time I do. I mean, now if it's like slick, calm, super clear, then yeah, you can go no blades. But slower the better. I always feel like, especially
slower
if it's cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Are you a Alabama rigger, Jake?
No.
Okay.
I do not like them.
I'm not either. That's why I directed that. He didn't address Shane in particular, but that's why I shot that question over to him. All right. Baits. What baits do you guys throw on a 5-4 to 1 reel? When you go to a 5-4 to 1, what baits are you throwing on that gear ratio?
Crankbaits, but
But mainly big stuff or all crankbaits?
big stuff. But I'm still a low 6s. I don't. The 5-4 is great for the big 10XDs, that kind of stuff. But for whatever reason, I'm still.
That's the only time I've thrown a 5-4, and I've got a couple of them. and it's for really only 2 or 3 baits out there. One is like a big giant swim bait head, like an ounce to an ounce and a half, something that I'm wanting to crawl on the bottom. It forces me to keep it on the bottom, as opposed to picking it up too quick, and a 10XD. Or some of the giant crankbaits like the old Dirty 30 by Mans. You ever throw the old Dirty 30? The big giant crankbaits. But other than that, I'm like Jake. I'm a 6-to-1 guy.
I'm the same. Yeah.
Do you use any 5-to-1, Shane?
I've actually I've got some winches in 5-4-to-1 and played with it a little bit.
Yep.
But I think not. I feel like that 6.6 or 6.3 or whatever for shallow diving crankbait, and I haven't been deep cranking with one yet, but
right.
That's exactly what I think it'll be good for.
Okay.
6 and 10 XD stuff like that.
All right. Let's see. Brad Williams said he's buying his first boat. What are the key things I should be looking for? Honestly, looking beyond obviously a good price.
Make sure it floats.
Make sure it floats. I don't know what you're in the market for, Brad, but Angler's Choice, they're unmatched in my opinion with customer service and not just taking care of you before the sale, but having a good service department and people that are going to be there for you after the sale. And that's one thing that Angler's Choice has always impressed me with is they'll take good care of you. They got good mechanics at all locations. So that's one thing that I take a lot of pride in is just knowing that I'm going to be well taken care of after I purchase a boat. Yeah. So, you can buy the same boat at a lot of different locations, but you won't get the same service, and that's the deciding factor for me. What about y'all?
Yeah, and I've got to go back on what you said about Angler's Choice. I just joined those guys this year, and just the short time that I've dealt with them, they have been nothing but great to me, and I have 100% confidence they do that for anybody else out there, not just us. So
it's an awesome group of people, man. I tell you. All right, what time we getting to, Jeff?
7:53.
7:53. So we do have 2 giveaways tonight. Did I do that right? 2 giveaways tonight. We have 2 different questions. I don't even know what one of the questions is because Jeff came up with it, and he pretty much gave me the look that don't you dare ask it because
it's a fitting question.
This is my deal.
It's not hard.
It's probably something making fun of me or something. That's why you won't tell me.
I don't
what
have
it
to
is.
ask it.
All right, so Anthony Randall said, so we'll get to the questions here in about 5 minutes, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're up to 300-something viewers tonight, which is awesome. Jake and Shane have been great. Guys, keep shooting your questions in. We got time for a few more questions. Anthony said, Matt, that's a huge leader. I like 6 and 8 pound leader with a FG knot. I very rarely do I go to 6. I use 8 a lot, but very rarely do I go to 6. And do y'all ever use 6 pound leaders much anymore? I mean, a lot of the places we go don't really dictate that we have to use some stuff that small.
No.
I
use it some.
Yeah,
I did at St. Clair actually on my drop shot, and I think I was like actually visually seeing fish.
Yeah,
like eating mayflies and stuff, and there was a ton of boats around me.
Yep.
And I think there was 2 keys. One was that new flatworm from Berkeley. Actually, like Cobb was begging me for. I had 19.5 pounds in like 30 minutes, and he's like, "All right, that's it. Just come bring me some now.
Give me some worms."
Yeah, but I think also it was a 6 pound leader that I got a few more bites than everybody else because you could see so. It was slick calm that second day.
Yeah, and I could see that in super, super clear water and super high pressure situations, especially when there's a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to do is go down to a 6 pound line when I'm dealing with a 4 pound smallmouth. But
it was testy. But you just take your time.
You're not going to land them if you don't hook them. So
that's right.
That's the way. That's a good way to look at it. Go to confidence baits. Elijah Brown said, "What was that?"
I think he's looking for the mouse already.
Yeah.
He just ate something off the top.
About mice.
Look at
see something on top.
Yeah.
Man, it's the bubbles. He's trying to attack the bubbles from the aerator in there, isn't he? Your confidence bait. Elijah Brown wants to know y'all's confidence bait. Your number 1 confidence bait. Jake, you first.
100%. After the bass get done spawning, it's a frog. 100%.
A frog. That's your confidence bait.
100%.
I like it. Jane?
Mine's either going to be a jig or a shaky head.
I know what Brian would say, but I'm not going to say it because this will be the first show in the history of Let's Talk Fish where that was not mentioned. So we're not going to mention it. He could talk about it for an hour next week if he wants to. He'll be back.
I know what he would say too.
So Brian will be back next week. We have a couple surprises for you guys in store. One is we'll have some mice to feed Mr. Wilson. And 2, we get to hear Thrift talk about his 3rd place finish at Sam Rayburn and how they smashed him down there. And I mean smashed them like not just catching big ones, but catching tons of fish. So it'll be a great show next Tuesday. Let's see. James Wiley, Mark Rose went to MLF. Oh, Ben answered your question for you. He was wondering where Rose went. He did go to the BPT. Let's see. TJ O'Connor. We got a couple references tonight for Angler's Choice Marine guys, and thanks for tuning in. TJ verified what Jake and I both said. Buy from ACM, and they do take good care of you after the sale. Let's see. Keep on rolling. Kevin said Angler's Choice are excellent. They've treated me great. Dale Phillips, I'm impressed with Angler's Choice. Man, we didn't even have to say anything about Angler's Choice. I mean, all the viewers are pretty much taking care of it for us. So, what? Ryan Montgomery asked, "Do we throw?" No, we're not saying that word tonight, Ryan. We're not saying DAMIKI or hummingbird or anything. Since Thrift's not here, we'll ask that question to Brian next week when he's back, though.
Or me and Matt.
Or me and Matt. Me and Jake and Shane. Me and Jake and Shane. We had a good evening. Yeah. And then he'll say, "Do what? I wasn't listening. Do what? Do what? I wasn't listening. I don't never listen to you, Matt." I hope he's watching. Man, I hope he's watching. Can we send giveaways up to Canada? Absolutely, Kirk. If you win the giveaway, it's coming to Canada. All right. Grant Hack said, "Did you get my email?" Did he send you an email, Jeff?
I don't know.
Do we have an email?
Did you already read that question? Is that
from Grant?
I don't know.
No, that's from Nate. By the way, I didn't mention this earlier.
I did not get your email.
Sorry, Grant. We didn't.
I will look for it.
Well, we didn't check it, but Jeff said he's going to check it. All right, Angela Henson Mayo's on. Hey, Angela. She said she agrees with us on the Angler's Choice deal too. Shane and Jake both came up through the college ranks. They both fished at UNC Charlotte. How many years did y'all spend together there? One? Was it just one?
Yeah, I think it was just one.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's just one. But what an awesome deal. And now they're both full-time tour pros. Jeff's over there laughing because he saw something funny, and apparently I missed it.
He wants me to say me and Matt again.
Anthony said, "Dude, I'm rolling. Just say me and Matt again." Say it in Brian's accent.
Me and Matt.
One more time.
Pretty good.
Me and Matt.
All right, thank you. Good enough. Dang, I lost my train of thought again. Thanks, Jeff. All right, back to the question. We did have one pre-show question that I meant to address. This one is from Nate. He said it's for Thrift, but since Thrift's not here, we're going to let Shane and Jake answer it. The College Bass Series is going to several new big bodies of water. Lake Norman into February, Smith Lake into March, Bull Shoals into April, and St. Lawrence River end of June. For such huge bodies of water in little time, because we know the college guys don't have a lot of practice time with their schedules. How do you good Lord, I'm talking like Thrift now. How you narrow down that body? All right, how do you narrow down such a big body of water in just a few days' time?
For me, practice-wise, if I'm getting a few days, I just try to break down a certain section of the lake the best I can,
as opposed to running around
yes,
and biting more off than you can chew.
You know, I try to do my research, try to do figure out where theoretically the best places may be, or past history, whatever they may be. But I try to pick a general area of the lake and try to break it down as best as I can, as far as opposed to just running around everywhere.
Right. Shane?
I agree with that 100%, especially if you only got, let's say he's got a day and a half, something like that. Now, if you got 3 days, Norman, you can break down the whole lake pretty much in 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll give these guys, go ahead, finish what you're saying. I'll give them a quick tip. Yeah,
and I would say, like Jake said, do some research watercolor, stuff like that, and then go with your strengths. Say if you're a river fisherman, if you're there a time of year where the river can play, go fish the river. Don't go down there in the clear water and chase what everybody else is doing.
Yeah,
right. Agree 100%. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't know how y'all's team was at UNC Charlotte, but a lot of the teams are big enough they don't just send one team to these events.
Yeah.
So that's why you're a team, guys. Take advantage of your team members. One of you go to the river. If two guys on the team are really strong, shallow, dirty water fishermen, send them to the river first day of practice, or the only day of practice if you only have one day. The guys that are more comfortable with the spinning rods and the finesse presentation, send them to the dam. Y'all work together to break down the lake quicker, and that's what a lot of us do on the tour. We have somebody that we can rely on, that we can break down a body of water twice as fast. As opposed to being by ourselves or just one team. So if you have that advantage, use it. Use your other teammates and lean on them as much as you can to break down a big body of water a lot quicker. All right, I know it's time for the trivia, right, Jeff?
It is 8:01.
8:01. All right, so first trivia question tonight is for an Angler's Choice High Performance hoodie, an Angler's Choice Marine Custom 25th Anniversary hat, and did we get permission from Tater Hall to give his deal away?
He never answered. He's probably asleep.
He didn't answer.
So, I
okay,
mean,
well, we're not going to give his hat away without his permission. So the first trivia question that Jeff is in charge of is for the Angler's Choice hoodie and the Angler's Choice hat. And Jeff is going to ask it. And Jeff, am I in charge of the feed since you're asking the question, since normally it's the other way around?
The feed. Quick, I've had a couple more questions about the stickers. Stickers are on the way. You're getting more than just a sticker. You know, more than an LTF decal. We had to coordinate Thrift schedule, ordering some special things, Matt's schedule. So Thrift's going to finish his part up probably tomorrow or the next day, and then all those decals will go out. But again, you're getting more than just a free decal. And so they're coming, I promise.
Kevin asked me if we'll have any Let's Talk Fish decals or hats for sale at the Angler's Choice Open House. We reordered hats, right?
We did.
Okay, so I may try to bring at least 10 or 15, maybe 20 to the Angler's Choice Open House and set up a little table there, and we'll try to have some hats there. I don't know about decals. If we got some extra decals, I'll bring some decals too.
I know a guy that can print some.
You know a guy. All right, so here we go. The second trivia question that I'm in charge of will be for a BASS membership, a one-year Bassmaster membership that'll give you the magazine subscription, tackle pack, all the goodies. So, Jeff, it's your turn. Can you handle this? You've never done a trivia question before.
This is going to be super difficult, but it's super fitting.
Is it really going to be super difficult? We're going to be here till like 8:30, people trying to guess.
If it takes more than 3 seconds, there's a problem.
Okay, all right. Here we go. First trivia question. Shoot, Jeff.
How many years has Angler's Choice Marine been in business? Exactly. It should already be answered. 22.6 pounds. No.
That's close, but no.
Wait. Did they understand what you said?
How many years has Angler's Choice Marine been in business?
Why is it saying 93.6? 22. So I love our viewers because a lot of times they'll just we'll be halfway through. We'll be halfway through a
Johnny Large.
Johnny Large is the winner.
25 years.
25 years.
And it's fitting because we announced it on the show tonight. There's a big sign in our window there that says 25th anniversary.
It's on the hats.
We have a 25th anniversary
it's on the
performance
shirt.
Giveaway.
Yep.
A 25th anniversary hat.
All right. So, Johnny Large, send us your shipping information, your address, phone number, just in case we need to get in touch with you. And I'm going to forward that to Trent up there in Martinsville, Angler's Choice, and he will send you out a hoodie. We need to know your size. We'll send you out a hoodie and a hat and get you taken care of. All right, on to the next trivia question. Where'd my trivia question go? I'm moving my papers around, or is that me that's doing that? Don't look at me like that.
I'm trying to remember the answer.
Oh, yeah.
I know it.
You might need to know. No,
it?
you don't. That's the answer. Don't show the camera.
You can't see it. All
right. Here we go. Tyler Thompson said, "What's up, Jake?" Question for the BASS membership giveaway, guys. We already have an answer for the other one. On route, we argued about this earlier. Is it route or route?
Pecan.
Route.
It's route. See, he's trying to make me look stupid.
Route.
It's route. En route. Now, are you trying to make me look dumb? En route to winning the 2018 BASS Rookie of the Year title, what was Jake's highest finish, and what body of water was it on? So, en route, not route. I like route better. En route to winning the 2018 BASS Rookie of the Year title, what was Jake's highest finish, and what body of water was it on? Ready, set, go. All right. People are sending in their sizes. This is hilarious. It's killing me. So, Johnny Large, make sure you send us a message to our Facebook page on your size that you need, your shipping information, and drop us your phone number just in case we need to get in touch with you for any reason. Kenny Mathis said Johnny Large robbed him.
It's what place
see.
And the body of water.
I know how to spell it, Anthony. I just didn't know how to pronounce it. I think I had ROUTE down. Let's see. Third. We don't even. All right, guys. I need his finish.
Yeah, it's starting to come in finish and
And
body of water.
the location, the body of water that it was on. And I'll give them a hint if they don't get it very quickly. Where'd you finish?
Ryan Montgomery is the winner on my feed.
Ryan Montgomery. Yep, that's what I got too. That's unusual.
5th place, Sabine River.
5th place, Joey Randall said 150th Moss Lake. he ought to get something just for that. That's awesome. All right, Ryan Montgomery, you are the winner of the Bass membership. Send us a message. Send me your same thing that we asked for from Johnny. Send us your address, all your shipping information, so we can get you hooked up with that BASS membership package. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Jake, thanks for being here.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Shane, thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
Again.
Absolutely.
And we're going to go grab some grub, but in the meantime, what we say, Jeff? When we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here on Tuesday nights and talk fishing.
Absolutely.
We'll see y'all next week. Bryan Thrift will be back in the house talking about his 3rd place finish at Rayburn. Catch y'all later.
Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Fish. Visit our private Facebook group to continue the conversation, post your questions, and talk with other fellow anglers at facebook.com/groups/Let's Talk Fish. Follow us on Instagram at Let's Talk Fish Official and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more exclusive content. Join us again next episode for more actionable tips, tactics, and techniques directly from the pros. And remember, when we can't go fishing, we're going to sit right here and talk fish.